This is Hillary Kramer, the Millionaire Maker, and we have today our resident economist, Stephen Moore. He was 4 years advising in the Trump White House. He is a columnist for the Wall Street Journal and certainly the brightest and most insightful economist that there is in this entire country. So, welcome, Stephen. Let's just get right to the questions because there are so many of them that I have. The first is the economic outlook. Are you skeptical, especially with all this kind of froth in the market, new administration? How do you feel on a macro level?
Hillary, I've seldom been more undecided about the direction of things. It's so hard to predict right now because you have so many signals going in opposite directions. Now, the most important thing that's going on that investors have to keep an eye on is the vaccine rollout. We've got to get that vaccine out there. I love this plan that Biden is talking about 100 million vaccines in 100 days. I think that could be a game changer for the economy. And if we can achieve that, and then get 50 million more after that so that every American who wants the vaccine has it, I think you see an opening up of the economy. I think you see a really good 2021. And I think you're looking at maybe 4, 5, 6% growth. And those are great numbers. Uh, what worries me a little bit, on the other hand, because we economists, we have two hands. On the other hand, I do worry about some of the initiatives coming out of Biden. The killing of the Keystone Pipeline, some of the initiatives that it will hurt the energy industry. I wonder how much of this debt. I wonder how much longer we can continue to borrow at this massive pace, Hillary, and not have a rise in interest rates and inflation. I get asked that question every day. By the way, even people on the street say, "Hey, Steve, when are we going to see inflation?" Starting to tick up. Look at the gas prices. So I'm modestly optimistic, but we got to get that vaccine out there.
Well, it's interesting. We have a $1.9 trillion stimulus coming because of the pandemic.
Right.
But at the same time, we have an economy that's on steroids because so much money is just flowing through the system. It's just like sloshing around out there. Do you think that the GameStop trading fervor this week, where the stock was, for anyone who doesn't know, the stock of GameStop was short sold by a big institutional hedge fund that thought it was going under. So they were betting against it. And the individual investors came in, as well as maybe institutional, and brought that stock up 6,000% of GameStop. Is that part of all of the money that's out there? Has it been created by our own doing?
We've got a lot of money sloshing around out there, Hillary. No question about it. You've got people made a lot of money in the market, and so a lot of them are reinvesting that money. Then you've got the Fed that is still really very accommodative. Let's face it, Hillary. I mean, they have maintained close to zero interest rates now for how long has it been? It seems like 4 or 5 years. We are seeing the Fed. I was trying to figure out what the Fed was saying, but I think that they're going to stick with this program for a while, don't you? And so there's a lot of money in the economy right now, and a lot of that is going in the stock market. But on the other hand, if you just look at go back to the very basics of the stock market and look at PE ratios, they're pretty high right now. So I would be cautious about investing huge amounts of money in this market right now because it is so high.
Right. I mean, there's so much to talk about, especially today. But I was looking at a company that, I mean, we love in our Great Game Changers newsletter. We've sold it. People made a lot of money, our subscribers. Coupa Software. The company is going to make around $670 million in sales this year. Its focus is to have $1 billion in sales. Great company. We love it. But should the market cap really be $25 billion of a company that hasn't even, that their biggest goal is $1 billion in sales? So, like when you say the PE ratios are high, I mean, there's just no way, even I love Elon Musk. I love Tesla. I think that he has been the great innovator and disruptor, and he's going to go down in history as someone who literally changed the world. However, Tesla could never sell enough cars to ever. they could be the only car seller there is, and they could never justify their stock price. If
Yeah, you look at some of these stocks. I mean, we've talked about this in previous weeks on your show. Some of these stocks with these amazing IPOs like DoorDash and like Airbnb, you mentioned Tesla, they don't even have profits yet, many of them. And there's, so their price per earnings is basically infinity because they don't really have earnings yet. But if you believe, I'll put it like this, Hillary, if you believe in this amazing digital age, that the technologies are going to keep rolling out and they're going to continue to not just the way we live in the United States, but around the world, then invest, invest because we're just at the beginning stages of the digital revolution and it's changing everything, right, Hillary, about the way we live our lives. And that will continue. But you remember what happened with the high tech bomb bursting. Remember that one?
You mean the height of the internet bubble was March 17th,
Right.
2000. That was that Friday, St. Patrick's Day,
Yeah.
the luck of the Irish day, and then it was all over from there. And what I keep saying is that so many of these investors the number of individual investors is incredible these days, but they don't remember 1987 crash for sure.
Yeah.
They don't have any recollection. Most of them
Yeah.
were still in grade school or in high
Right.
school, right? When the internet bubble, went, and maybe they had early jobs or they were in college, or they had jobs where they didn't have any money, so it was kind of insignificant. 2008, 2009, or they were still looking for jobs. So we are talking about a subset of billions of dollars that's being invested by individuals who have no idea how bad the dark side looks of the stock
Exactly.
market when it starts to
I
go
agree with you.
bad.
No, you're right.
Oh God.
That's
Listen, can,
that's
can you stay with us? We
Oh
are gonna
yeah.
come we are
Yeah.
gonna come back and we have some insight that nobody should miss. Hillary Kramer, the millionaire maker.